I was born in Barcelona, Spain. My first language and mother tongue is Spanish. The second one is Catalan. The third one is French. The fourth one is English. And then I decided to learn the Arabic language. This to tell you that I didn't know the Arabic language. However, I found through the help of Allah Azza wa Jal systems that allowed me that when I was learning Arabic actively to completely outperform in terms of pace, in terms of efficiency, everyone that was studying Arabic with me at that time. And I did it through these habits. And later on in 2019, I built an Arabic institute, which if you are interested in learning in a structured way the Arabic language, you can go ahead and check the first link in the description. Over there, you will even see students who have completed the program and you can see their level. But the point is that later on in 2019, I started this institute and I saw that the lack of these habits is what was making students less efficient and less successful. So these habits, if you're learning the Arabic language or if you tried to learn the Arabic language before and it didn't work, it's probably because these habits were not in place. And each habit further explains the other habit. So if you're interested in this, stay until the end because it will allow you to say, okay, now I get why it didn't work, or now I get what I need to do so it actually works. Now, habit number one is sleep, an extreme love for sleeping. Because if you sacrifice sleep, you are sacrificing focus, you are sacrificing memory, and you are sacrificing cognitive performance. This is why the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, he said, "Burika li ummati fi bukuriha," or in another riwayah, "Allahumma barik li ummati fi bukuriha." Oh Allah, bless my ummah, my community of Muslims, in the early mornings. And across different societies from what I have seen and being fluent in 5 different languages, one thing that you learn through learning people's languages is their culture and their proverbs. And I have seen that across all the different cultures that I have been able to enter through language, I have seen that in each of those they have a proverb that alludes to the fact that whoever wakes up early and sleeps early, they most of the times get more done. Like for example, in Spanish, we have a proverb that says, "Quien madruga, Dios le ayuda." Whoever wakes up early, God helps him. So obviously it might come from religious communities and so on, but the point is that in every of those, across social differences, everybody knows that if you sleep early and wake up early, you will get more done. And in the times that we live in, it's very easy to lack sleep because of social media. And this is something that we are going to be touching on the habit that talks about getting rid of distractions. But the point is that when you sleep, your memories are consolidated and new information is stored and neural connections strengthen. So for those who, if you have never heard about it, sleep has different stages. You have light sleep, you have deep sleep, and you have REM sleep, rapid eye movement. So that stage is where you are dreaming. And the deep sleep, which is the one that comes before it, that sleep is what allows you to consolidate memories, i.e. if you was memorizing a page of the Quran or 50 vocabulary words that day, when you get to deep sleep, it allows to consolidate and strengthen that memory and allowing it to now stay, hopefully, in your long-term memory, which allows you to memorize that thing. Likewise, that new information is stored in that long-term memory of yours, and neural connections strengthen. Not only that, but your neurons regenerate. Because throughout the day, as you are using your memory, those neurons, they get used and they disappear. So for you to regenerate them, you have to have good sleep. It doesn't help you only having light sleep, but you have to have deep sleep. And this deep sleep, you can only get to it at around 90 minutes inside of your sleep. And experts say that on average, you need at least 4 to 6 sleep cycles in a space of 24 hours in order for you to regenerate and re-energize your memory and your consolidate those new memories. So 4 cycles would be 1 hour and a half, 1 hour and a half, 1 hour and a half, 1 hour and a half. That's 4 cycles, because one cycle is 1 hour and a half. So that's at least 6 hours in a space of 24 hours. Now, the opposite of this and the lack of sleep, what will cause is it will reduce your attention span, it weakens your working memory, and it slows your learning dramatically. Because now, and you probably experienced this before, you're trying to listen to someone and trying to think about something at the end of the day, after a long day, and all you can say is, listen, let me sleep, and when my brain is working better in the night, in the morning, I will let you know about this. Because right now, it might not allow me to take good decisions. It might make me take, decisions that later on I might just, when I'm actually awake and when I'm actually, with a fresh brain, it will make me say, I don't even know why I said that to you last night when I was tired. And this is one of the reasons why in places like Guantanamo, they used to use lack of sleep as a way of torture, as a way of torture, as a way of adab, to make the person, or ta'dib, to make the person be so tired that now at this point he is so emotionally weakened and so cognitively so weak that it's so easy to make him say or talk about whatever they want, or they thought that they that they were able to speak about. Because a lot of those people, they didn't even have any information about anything. The point is, and the summary of this habit is sleep. When I was in Egypt, actively learning the Arabic language, I had so many little distractions. And again, we're going to get to that habit of distractions, but I had so many little distractions that I was spending the majority of my day memorizing, learning. And when the night came after Maghrib, I was already tired. So I went to sleep very early, which allowed me to wake up so early. Now, habit number 2 is extreme isolation. And yes, even if it sounds extreme, in order for you to progress in a particular thing, it requires separation from normal life. And for me at that time, it was going to Egypt. Not because in Egypt you can learn faster, but it was me putting myself in an environment where I don't have no childhood friends around, no family around, no distractions that I'm distracted with around. And it allowed me to go to class and practice Arabic with my companions of learning and with my teacher. But one misconception that I want to add here as a side note, a lot of people think that if they go to an Arab country, they are going to be able to learn the Fusha, classical, Quranic Arabic faster. But that is not the case, because people in the streets, they don't speak that language. But rather it helps. Why? Because there are institutes out there where people goes and learn from it. But likewise, those same things that will allow you to learn the language, you can achieve them from wherever you are right now. From London, from New York, from Berlin, in Germany, from Toronto, it doesn't matter. The point is that you have to actually do the actions that will allow you to learn the language, which this is not the video for, but it is very possible for you to achieve from where you are at. Now, every major transformation in my life, whether it was in seeking knowledge, whether it was in business, whether it was in fitness, it was based on extreme stepping away from people, from noise, and from comfort. When it came to fitness, I had to force myself to eat things that I don't necessarily want to eat on a day-to-day basis in order for me to achieve my fitness goals. When it came to seeking knowledge, I had to cut off from some of the things that I might want to do, or my nafs wants to do on a day-to-day basis, like wasting time with my childhood friends, or going to just spend 3 hours just sitting down talking about nothing with my childhood friends. For other people, it might be other things. It might be watching movies. It might be social media. Some things might be haram. Some things might not be haram. The point is, distractions, you have to cut them all out and isolate yourself and be away from noise and comfort for you to be able to achieve these things. Now, these days, I'm actually in London right now. Just came here for a few days, and I have realized one thing. I've realized that people, if they live here, and the reason why I realized this is because I came here and I was trying to reach out to people to tell them I'm in London, let's meet up. And multiple times they told me, oh, I'm working until this time, and then it's too late, or I'm starting to work at this time. And And what I've realized is that the average person will have responsibilities, that will be work, that will be studies at university. And then at the end of the day, you are going to be so tired that you don't even have time to actually work on other missions that you might have. Like, for example, learning the Arabic language. But it's so important that you are able to fight through it, especially in these years that you perhaps don't have a family year, or you don't have many children, many responsibilities. But it's important that you are able to perhaps work a 9 to 5 and study a 5 to 9. So in those 5 to 9 hours, those 4 hours after work and so on, you need to fight through it and do whatever you need to do. I remember, subhanAllah, there was one particular time where I was here in London, and I will wake up in the morning and take a cold shower, because when you live in the UAE, the water doesn't even get cold enough for you to actually get a cold shower. But here in the UK, you take a cold shower, that was better than 5 espresso coffees. So you have to do things like this that are uncomfortable. If you get home, you're too tired, perhaps it's because of what you have eaten throughout the day. Perhaps it's because of giving your nafs so much dopamine through social media as you was coming back home. Or you get home and you have a TV, so now you feel like watching the TV just because it's there. So perhaps you might have to get rid of the TV. Perhaps you might have to get home and get a cold shower. But the point is, you have to be able to work in discomfort and in extreme isolation. And that might mean that you are not going to see the friends that you see now every day after work, because you are trying to learn the Arabic language within the next year. Now, this third habit is a opposite of the previous habit, which is companionship, but with the condition that they are on the same path. So if this companionship includes that these people are in the same path, then these people can actually help you shape that pace and that path that you are trying to partake. So let's say that now, for example, you want to learn the Arabic language and you are on the same type of time and the same type of beat than this person. You can send him this video and say, look, this is what we need to do every day after work. We need to meet up, or we need to meet up online, or whatever it might be, and find a teacher perhaps and go over this book together and then do the revision together. And for me personally, the reason why this helped me is because at that time I had a very motivated and mujtahid student with me. His name was Saeed, and he was from France, and his origins were from Cambodia. I don't know what this brother is doing, so I'm mentioning all of these details. Perhaps somebody from France can help me find him. But he was, looking back, a big reason why I progressed so fast, because I looked at him, he was more advanced than me. I looked at him, what he was doing, I wanted to do as well. What he was memorizing, I wanted to memorize as well. And that literally shaped my pace. So having a companion that is on the same path will help you do that and be faster as well. Because when everybody is moving towards the same, or at a faster speed and pace than you, and going towards the same direction, then the effort feels normal, instead of you fighting on your own, and the days that you will not feel like doing it, the other person might feel like doing it, and then he will motivate you to do it. So companionship is one of the most important things when it comes to you speeding your performance when learning the Arabic language. And now we get to the last habit, and the most important habit, which I have been referencing throughout the whole video. And before I get into it, I want to remind you that if you want to learn the Arabic language in a structured way, that if you complete the program, you're going to learn the Arabic language by the end of it, because we can actually prove that 100% of our students that completed the program, they speak, they read, and they're able to understand the tafsir directly in Arabic. Go ahead and check the first link in the description and read through it and check more of information there, and even stories of students who have already done it that will motivate you to actually go ahead and do the first step. So now the last habit, which is environmental design and removing distractions instead of fighting them. So many times we have distractions and we try to fight them. instead of just completely removing them. One example, as we were saying earlier, is social media. If social media is being a distraction, instead of trying to fight it and try to justify how much of a benefit there is with it because you get reminded and this and that, weigh the pros and cons. And you will see that if you actually completely remove it, instead of trying to fight it, it will give you more focus and it will give you more of a fresh mind now, because you don't even have to think about it. You don't have to be distracted by the fact that it's there. And this is why last year when I went to, or 2 years ago actually, when I went to Mauritania, we went on a Quran spree. We went there for 4 months. We wanted to memorize as much Quran as possible. When I was there, I realized that having Instagram in my life, there was more harm than benefit. So at that time, I deleted my Instagram because I realized that even though my phone was locked throughout the whole day, the fact that when my phone was now unlocked, the first thing that I'm thinking is, grabbing the phone. Instead of now that I'm done with the heavy lifting throughout the day of memorizing, for example, or revising, now I might want to chill and just read tafsir. And subhanAllah, I realized that the cons were more. So I just decided to get rid of it and just delete it. And it was very beneficial, and it really made me realize that when distractions are not there, focus is always there. But when the distractions comes, now you think that you are distracted, you're trying to find focus with the distractions. But the reality and the fix is that for you to focus, you just need to get rid and completely delete those distractions. And this happened to me many times in my life, or I would say 2 main significant and clear times. One, it was not long ago in the UAE. For about 4 hours, the electricity of a whole neighborhood was cut out, which was very surprising to me because the first time that this happened, it was in Mauritania. But the UAE is quite advanced. So the point is that not only for myself, but I heard it from people around me. They said, subhanAllah, when there was no electricity, I found myself reading. And the thing is that when electricity is there, then the Wi-Fi works, then you are on the phone and you are on social media. So the last time that this happened was in Mauritania as well. And for 2 weeks, then the internet was cut up. So there was only data to call. There wasn't even data to get online or on social media. And in those 2 weeks, I did something that I was procrastinating to do for, I think, about 11 months. And it took me literally within those 2 weeks to complete it. So I realized, like, subhanAllah, when distractions that are distractions are in your life and you are procrastinating to get rid of them, sometimes it might be social media, sometimes it might be something else, sometimes it might be a person in your life. When you get rid of them, or when you are forced to not use them because of a cutout in the electricity, you realize how much efficiency and productivity you will gain if that wasn't in your life. And then if you are smart enough, you will decide and make the step of actually deleting them. So removing distractions is basically environmental design. Environmental design could look, and is something that is used as well when you go to supermarkets, for example. When you're about to go to the cashier and pay, you see all those little gums and those little chocolate bars. That's environmental design. In marketing and in business, they do it. So when you're about to pay, you say, oh, I might as well grab a gum. So they are trying to make you spend a little bit more within that time that you spend in the supermarket. Social media, they do the same thing. They try and show you as much content that you like to keep you on it as much as possible, because then they are going to monetize your attention by letting businesses pay, in this case Instagram, Meta, to show you ads that perhaps make you buy something that you're interested in. So likewise, when environmental design in your life, the way how you can apply that is by, for example, if you get distracted by one particular thing, the most common example in 2026 is your phone. If you get home and you know that most of the times you cannot do that 5 to 9 shift to learn the Arabic language, or even before Fajr, because those are the best 2 times. If you cannot do it because a distraction, billahi alayk, and I beg you, just go ahead and use environmental design. And perhaps as soon as you get in the house, lock your phone away. Or as soon as you get in the house, I don't know, delete Instagram. To be honest, just delete it as a whole if you don't need it for your business or whatever it might be. But whatever distraction, sometimes it might be food. actually. Like yesterday, for example, you know, when you're traveling, and as I told you, I'm in London right now. When you're traveling, you tend to eat different than what you usually eat. So I found myself eating these Sainsbury cookies and all this crap, and I felt my efficiency and my cognitive sharpness go down because of my body digesting food that I usually don't eat, which are carbs and are heavy. So if that is one of the distractions that you get when you first get home, and then you full because you was very hungry and you ate a big plate right as soon as you got home, and now from 6 to 9 or to 10, all you can do is just not study but only chill, and it makes you want to watch TV or whatever it might be. Then make sure that when you get home you eat something that will allow you to actually do that shift, but at the same time give you nutrition. Like, for example, I don't know, red meat or something that is not going to be too heavy, like carbs. So these are my 10 habits that I have used to learn Arabic in 10 months and faster than the people around me. And I hope that you have benefited. Check the first or the second link in the description, which will show you a video that teaches you step by step how to learn the Arabic language. And remember, the first link is if you actually are ready to learn the Arabic language. Go ahead and check it out so you can see our structured program and course that if you complete, you are going to be guaranteed, بإذن الله عز وجل, to learn the Arabic language. See you on the next one.